All right, guys, how's it going? So I just uploaded a video a few minutes ago, actually, about Trent Alexander-Arnold and Real Madrid. You know, some new claims that have come out from a publication called Relevo in Spain, where I am based, by a journalist by the name of Rodra. He goes by the name of Rodra on social media, but his full name is Javier Rodriguez Pascual. And I should have mentioned this in that video, really, but it doesn't matter. I can do it in a separate video. It's important information that you should know, not just in relation to Trent Alexander-Arnold, but anything to do when you see Liverpool mentioned, if it crops up from this organisation, Relevo. I just need you to know about the bias. So first of all, the journalist himself is heavily biased for Real Madrid. He's like a Real Madrid mouthpiece, right? And he has a mixed reputation in terms of things he gets right, things he gets wrong, a typical journalist, right? And that's fine. But, you know, sometimes when people want to back up something they want you to believe, they will say well-known journalist or the reliable, you know, Javier Rodriguez Pascual or whatever. I know all about this guy. I know what he gets right, I know what he gets wrong. He's very heavily biased in favour of Real Madrid. Now, the organisation, Relevo, we've seen this before. We've seen it crop up when the Zubimendi stuff was doing the rounds and everything, right? And it's a Spanish sports website. It focuses on national and international sports coverage, particularly targeting like the Gen Z, millennial audiences, if you like. Its business model is advertising only. I don't think there's any subscriptions or anything like that. But Relevo is based in Madrid. Okay, Relevo is based in Madrid, and its parent company, it's owned by a company called Vocento, right? Who are based in Madrid. That's a lot of Madrid influence in this huge organization, Vocento, which owns a lot of, you know, Spanish publications and things like that. And like I said, they own Relevo. So both of those, you know, Relevo, that outlet is in Madrid, and so is Vocento. So there is, you know, this obviously this heavily you know, bias towards Real Madrid coverage, if you like. So you can look at it in a couple of ways, couldn't you? You could say, well, they're in Madrid then, so they must know what's going on, right? It's true, right? That's one way of looking at things that these people could be doing. But you've also got to understand that there's also the possibility of helping disrupt things. And I spoke about this recently, you know, that Liverpool will be playing Real Madrid, as you know, in the Champions League, and in the run-up to that game, I expect to see the Trent Alexander stuff explode from Spain, right? Not so much the UK, but from Spain. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. So is what you are saying today that? No, I don't think it is. I don't think this is part of the Real Madrid, like, you know, let's fuck with Liverpool ahead of the game sort of thing. I think it's too soon for that. I think this organisation, in particular this journalist, you know, every time they mention Liverpool, you know, Liverpool's a big club, do you know what I mean? And, well, you know that, but I mean, like, in Spain and that, it can really propel your image and your followers and stuff like that. So, you know, people will follow people like this at little regional, you know, organisations or national organisations or whatever. So in this instance, I just think this is idle speculation that we're seeing in the reporting anyway. I don't see anything in that report that I touched on in the previous video. You'd have to watch the previous video. If you're watching this one. If you haven't watched the previous one, you're probably confused to fuck. If you probably watched the previous one, you're probably still confused to fuck. So, no, I don't think this is part of the Real Madrid destabilising things ahead of the game or anything. Anything that journalist has said today is like, well, Real Madrid have had contact with his agent. Well, of course, it's obvious, isn't it? A player's could be available on a free transfer, you know, in a couple of months' time. So, you know, January the 1st, for example. So yeah, of course there's going to be contacts and things like that. But I always think it's important, you know, like if, you know, imagine if it was in Spain and they were reading something written by, you know, Paul Joyce, you know, about Liverpool and some player, you know what I mean? Like the Spanish should be going, well, he writes about Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? So you can look at it two ways. You can look at it and say, right, well, okay, he's close to Real Madrid then, so what he's saying must be true. Or it could be just a bit of shit stirring, you know, or it could be the fact that he's just trying to raise his profile a little bit. I think you're going to hear a lot more from that journalist and that outlet, Relevo. Is it Relevo or Revelo? You know what I mean? Relevo. I think you're going to hear more about them, especially in the run-up to the Liverpool game. Now, what I'm not trying to do here is say that Real Madrid are not interested in him. Trent Alexander-Arnold, it should all be ignored. Ignore the Spanish. No, not at all. I just think it's important that when you read something, that you know who's behind this stuff. It's like when we have the claims on, each day I address claims, don't I? And I say, it comes from you guys. And, it's important to know where to trace these things back to. And like I say, both that platform and the company that owns them are based in Madrid. So it's in their interest to entertain their Madrid audience as well, I think, So I'll leave that with you. I guess I could have mentioned that in the other video, but this as a standalone video is all right anyway, because it's obviously about, media coverage in Spain. If other, this outlet, whoever they are, mentions Liverpool again, you can always think now, we know that there's a Madrid bias there. All right, I think that's really important to know. All right, guys, I'll leave it with you. If you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit that super thanks button. All right, guys, I'll speak to you in a bit. All right. Oh, don't forget, I'm live tonight on here at 7.